Oh, this is exciting. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
And when I say hi, everybody, let me just go ahead. I'm going to go around the table really quickly, the virtual table, and say hello to everybody by name. Hey, Ian, how are you?
I'm good, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Hey, Alex, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be back.
And who are you?
I don't know.
Hey, Ari, how are you?
I've been better.
Hey, sweetie. I love you. It's
Love
nice
you.
to have you here. Hey, we were all involved in this show that went for like 8 years, and I loved doing it. And I think all three of you were just the bee's knees, just tops. And I'm tired. Who else is tired?
Me.
We're all pretty tired.
Raising
I think.
hand.
Yeah.
Yep.
In virtual space.
I was
Yeah.
really excited to have Calvin have a little cameo in the final episode.
Calvin was in no position to have a cameo in this episode.
No, Calvin was having a rough. Calvin was having a very, very 5-year-old day,
Yeah.
and
Calvin was in a position to make our lives very difficult
yep,
for the last 24 to 48 hours.
yeah. And like, there's no better example of that than the fact that it is currently 9:18 in the evening.
At night?
We had to wait until this little kid was asleep before we could get started. I loved sending text messages to Ian, to you and Alex. They're just like, yes, the child is not asleep yet. Sit tight. We will be on soon. I just thought it would be nice to get everybody together and just kind of reflect a little bit on Adapt or Perish, which is a show that I remain very proud of. I'm very proud of all of your contributions to it. And I have loved having you all on it. I mean, I feel like here's the boring question. How did you get your start with the show? Sweetie, that's easy.
I lived with you.
Yep. Ian, how did you get your start with the show?
You said Ari and I are going to do a podcast. And then you sent me the episodes and I got to hear them before anybody else for a couple weeks.
And then I told you were going to be on it.
Yeah. And then
So- several years later.
Several years later. Jumped
Yeah.
several years later. And you said, Ari's not going to do the show anymore. Do you want to do it with me?
Yep.
And I said, yeah, sure.
Yep.
And,
I was very happy about that. Alex, how about you? How did you get your start on this show?
Well, you can hear the long story in my intro episode, but the short story is I annoyed Jeremy by telling him to watch anime, and at some point he was like, "Damn, we should give Alex some official title because they keep telling us to watch anime."
Yep. Alex, you are our official research assistant. I was very excited to make you our official research assistant. We have not given you quite nearly enough work to do over the last year and a half since you became the official research assistant. I am sorry about that. One of the reasons why the show is ending is that it's been hard to get things together. It's been hard for me to get my shit together, and I appreciate everybody's patience. But it has been lovely having you all here. Now, Alex, I just said that I have not given you nearly enough work to do as our official research assistant, but I gave you a little assignment before this episode. Something we used to do in the Spectaculars is we used to do by the numbers and talk about the last year of recording, of how many pages we read and how many hours we watched. Alex, do you have a little report to give?
Yeah, so
Oh, wow.
I was in charge of adding up all the hours for everything watched since the 4-year spectacular, which was the last spectacular. So should I go year by year, or do you want me to just give the whole summary?
Just give the whole total.
Okay, the whole total is that across all 8 years, Jeremy, and then in some portion, Ian and Ari and I watched 58 days and 50 minutes worth of TV and movies.
It's that 50 minutes I love.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about the 50 minutes.
What was that 50 minutes? It was probably some bad show.
It was probably something bad, yeah.
It was
And
like,
29,522 pages of literature.
My God.
It's
wow.
amazing.
And it's funny, I was thinking about it that, like, first of all, Alex, thank you so much, because you and I have been going back and forth for a week on that because I asked you to do it and it got confusing sometimes. And so I hope I was helpful.
Yes. Well, there's the fun thing of Jeremy and Ari used to be very insistent on not watching anything illegally, and then they decided to do more musicals and caved to the slime tutorial, the World of Slime tutorials. So I had to go through every episode that was about a musical and determine if you had watched a slime tutorial or not.
You're very good at your job. I appreciate that. But no, the thing I was thinking about is, like, I almost want to make it 30,000 pages because we did read Northanger Abbey.
I didn't read it.
You didn't read it
No,
in
you read
advance
it.
of that?
No, you read it.
Oh, okay. I really enjoyed it. I thought it
Yeah.
was good. And we
Jeremy
watched
read it.
some of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot. I don't have anything to say. 58 days. My God.
Mm-hmm.
Heck.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I feel like there was nothing better to kind of describe just the breadth of things that we've talked about and how long we've been doing the show for than the fact that how many things we've done now we could do follow-up on because more stuff has come out. Could I run
Right.
down the list really quickly?
Yeah.
So starting with episode 1, Anne of Green Gables, there's the new Anne Shirley TV show. There's the new anime that just came
Yeah.
out. Alex, have you watched any of it?
So it's still currently airing. I'm a few episodes behind, but
Mhm.
I think it's like 21 of the episodes have premiered right now, and I've seen 16, and there's going to be 24.
How
so
is it?
where I have mixed feelings. I mean, I think that something that's true. I think about Anne of Green Gables as a book, and I felt this more because the show goes beyond the first book, which is all that I'd ever read. Is that the events just kind of happen, and there doesn't feel like there's a lot of continuity to it. It's just like, and here's a story about Anne, and here's another story about Anne, and here's a third unrelated story about Anne. I don't like that in my shows. I like there to, if not be like an ongoing plot, then at least like continued notable character growth. And there's character growth, but it still feels very disconnected. So that's kind of why I stopped watching. But it got to the point where Anne went to college, like real college, not the teacher school.
Okay.
And that's like where I stopped watching.
Gotcha. Well, maybe we'll watch it at some point.
Mhm.
Do you want to watch it with Calvin when they get a little bit older?
No.
No. Here's another bit of follow up we could always do. Christmas Carol. I don't want to. So, okay, we could keep
The
going.
barrel has been scraped.
I wanted to mention.
you need to not
You are
like,
wrong. Whatever
in
you're
a
about to say
fictional-
is wrong.
Jeremy, in a fictional universe where the show were to continue, you need to make a firm rule that you don't do any more Christmas Carol until a good Christmas Carol comes
Yeah,
out.
I agree.
Ridiculous.
No, agreed.
Ridiculous.
Agreed.
I'll be doing it by myself, recording it for
I'm
myself,
signing
and
up for
releasing.
Ian's newsletter.
No. I just wanted to mention 3 that we haven't done that have been recommended. That we was going to try to do again for this Christmas. There's 2006's Bah Humduck, a Looney Tunes Christmas.
Fuck.
Yes. Okay, never mind. That sounds
Yep,
good.
wherein Daffy is the Ebenezer Scrooge part.
Okay.
There's 2022's A Christmas Karen.
What?
About a lady named Karen
No.
who is a Karen.
Oh my god.
Yep. And then finally 1995's Ebby, in which Susan Lucci plays Elizabeth Ebby Scrooge.
That sounds great. I'll watch that.
Susan Lucci.
I'll watch
Yeah.
any 1990s miniseries or made-for-television movie.
Here's the deal. It gets better because Tiny Tim is played by Taron Noah Smith.
Yep.
Yep.
That's fine with me.
He's like, I'm on board. Yeah.
Oh, sign me up.
Roll it.
Put
One
me in,
ticket,
coach.
please.
Alex, do you know who Taron Noah Smith is?
No, I do not.
Oh my god.
There was a show back in the 90s called Home Improvement,
Okay, I've heard of
and
that.
everybody knows about Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Sure.
But Taron Noah Smith was big too.
Some people know about Zachary Ty Bryan.
That's true.
Fewer
But
people.
Yeah.
yeah.
Episode 28, Frankenstein. There's the brand new Frankenstein, the brand new Guillermo del Toro, Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi one. I've heard mixed things.
Yeah, buzz is mixed.
Yeah. Godzilla. Obviously, there was Godzilla -1, which I saw, and it was really good. A little melodramatic for my taste. Anybody else see Godzilla -1?
I still haven't.
It's pretty good.
And I'm mad because I hear it's great. Yeah.
I love that Jeremy didn't even look at me because he
Well, I
knows
know.
that I have not.
I know what you've seen. Father of the Bride, episode 45.
Oh, I did want to see that.
There was the 2022 version with Andy Garcia and Gloria Estefan. Also, more
yeah.
importantly, Adria Arjona plays the daughter in it. She's in this show called Andor. Sweetie, I don't know if you've heard this, but Andor is a really good show.
I heard something. I heard tell. I'm not going to watch it.
That's fine. It's not just good for Star Wars. It's a good show.
Mhm.
Dracula. There was a 2013 one that we missed. The Jonathan Rhys Meyers one.
Oh, no.
And then there was in 2020, there was the miniseries that Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat created.
Mhm.
Which
yes, that's actually really good.
was it good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's good.
Well, yeah, I mean that describes most of the things we like on this show.
Mhm.
Obviously, Matilda, episode 77, they made a movie of the musical. With Emma Thompson. We love Emma Thompson, and still haven't seen it. Still haven't seen it. Anybody seen it?
No, I just saw I was in the brief period of time where I did go on TikTok, which lined up with the depths of lockdown. The like one of the songs was like a really like there's a dance to it that was really popular. So I saw that a lot.
That's fun.
All right.
Obviously, episode 79, The Addams Family.
Mhm.
I don't know if everybody's heard about this show Wednesday.
I hear it's big.
It's pretty big. I mean, obviously, like Jenna Ortega has gotten a lot of buzz from it, but Luis Guzman and Catherine Zeta-Jones as Gomez and Morticia, I'm in favor of that.
No, I'm in favor of it too. I just wish that I had like I don't really have a huge desire to watch the show.
Yeah. There is, of course, the new Wuthering Heights that's coming out. That,
Mixed. I've heard mixed things.
yeah. I mean, and it's funny because all the things that are mixed, no one's seen it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's just mixed about the trailer.
Yeah.
It was funny because I saw an image with someone being really indignant that whatever was in the image was not in the book, and I looked at the image and I was like, "That is in the book." I don't know if you've read the book. So I'm fascinating. I'm in. Obviously, Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi are going to be in it, but it's Emerald Fennell, and like I always think it's worth calling out Emerald Fennell, the actor from Albert Nobbs' Call the Midwife and The Crown. Yeah, she was the lesbian midwife on Call the Midwife.
Yeah,
and then her girlfriend got amnesia in a tragic bicycle accident, as lesbians tend to do.
On Call the Midwife. Yeah. But especially as writer-director, Promising Young Woman at Saltburn. She's great. I have full faith in Emerald Fennell, and I'm very excited to see the new Wuthering Heights. I know what you did last summer, episode 109. I still feel like we could talk about the Legacy sequel that came out this year with Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr., even though technically sequel, not a remake, but I still really want to see the 2022 Lady Chatterley's Lover. We did it in episode 111. This is with Emma Corrin and Jack O'Connell. And did you know Jolie Richardson's in it?
I did not know that.
Yeah, she plays Mrs. Bolton, which is fun. Jolie Richardson was in the 90s version. Lady Chatterley's great.
We saw her butt.
Yeah, we saw her butt a lot. And Sean Beans.
And other parts.
Yeah, I mean, that episode involved a lot of butts.
Yeah. Well, some might say too many butts.
I feel like I think that was the only episode I ever put like a disclaimer at the beginning, just being like, we're going to talk about sex a lot.
I feel like Jolie Richardson is, no stranger to butt acting. I mean, she was on Nip Tucks. So like everybody was
there were a lot of butts on that show.
Lots of nudity acting in that show.
In episode 125 and 126, we did Hamlet, obviously the big one, and there's that new Hamnet, which is coming out based on the 2020 novel. And Paul Mescal, Jesse Buckley in that one, all about very Shakespeare in love, but not really. Did you hear about the book?
I've been very interested to hear Ari's thoughts on that. Yeah,
I mean, I heard about the. Yes.
Yeah.
I heard about the book.
Yeah, but no opinions.
I have no.
Okay.
No.
That's fine. You don't have to have an opinion about anything. And then finally, episode 128, The Great Gatsby. There were two musicals that came out. One
that's so weird.
It's crazy.
That's
it's
crazy.
Well, there was 2023's The Great Gatsby, which was written by Jason Howland, Nathan Tyson, and Kate Kerrigan, which went to Broadway and then immediately started touring.
Yeah, did it go to Broadway? It was the one out of ART.
No, that's the other one.
The other one was the one the one that's currently running is the one that was out of ART.
Well, the one that's Gatsby: An American Myth is the one that was out of ART. That's the Florence Welch one,
right? But that's not the one that's on Broadway right now.
No, it's the other one that I think was on Broadway. I don't think the Florence Welch one ever went to Broadway.
No, I know that. I feel like we're violently agreeing.
Cool. Let's try that again.
Okay.
So 2023's The Great Gatsby, I believe, went to Broadway.
It is on Broadway now.
It is currently on Broadway.
Yes.
And then there's Gatsby: An American Myth.
Yes.
Which was written by Florence, not just Florence, not the machine.
Right.
But Florence Welch and Thomas Bartlett and Martina. Do you know Martina Majok?
No.
Do you know how to pronounce
I don't
that?
know.
Do you know who that is?
No.
Directed by Rachel Chaikin.
Yes. That premiered here in Boston at the ART.
Yes, I saw it.
Right.
At ART.
You did see it. Yes.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, it needed work.
It was okay.
It was okay. Some parts of it were really good. The music sounded like Florence and the Machine, which was crazy, but it took itself very seriously.
Yeah, the one that's on Broadway is much more Broadway-y.
And like I was reading some reviews of it, and apparently the thing people are mad about is that it's not serious enough.
Yeah.
They're like, too funny, not doesn't delve into the metaphors about America. you know? And so apparently no one can do anything right when it comes to Gatsby. But anyway, we've just been doing this for a long time. Like, there's no way that we could ever finish any particular topic because there will always be new ones, especially A Christmas Carol. So I'd like to spend 20 more minutes talking about A Christmas Carol, if that's all right with all of you.
It is not. I vote you down.
But
Veto.
everybody else gets a vote.
Okay? But no one else is speaking.
I mean, I'll say one thing that I hope made every time you had to talk about a Christmas Carol version worthwhile, which is that Adapter Parish is the reason I ever got around to watching A Muppet Christmas Carol. And
That's
that
fine.
movie got to join the small list of Christmas movies that I like. So
Mm-hmm.
It's worth it then.
Makes up for everything. Yeah.
That's because it's perfect.
It's worth watching the Mr. Magoo Christmas Carol for that.
That wasn't even the worst
That wasn't
one.
even the worst one.
I'm so proud of
It
those
was
episodes.
so far from the worst one.
I've seen so
The
many.
Flintstones.
Oh,
Flintstones was pretty bad.
that white trash one. That one was
That
really
was so bad. Well, it just didn't hang together dramaturgically.
amazing. All right. Well, I had some questions that I wanted to ask all of you, just as another way to reflect on the show. I'm going to go ahead and start with Ari.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. Hey, Ari.
Yes. Hi. I wrote the answers down. Hang on one second.
What is your favorite episode?
I took the liberty of picking more than one thing for each question.
Oh, well, obviously.
Okay. I have a couple.
Okay.
For different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorites was the Les Mis trilogy.
That was amazing.
That was amazing. Because that took us. That was so much like if you said like pick something you're really proud of that you want to display as like a piece of art that you created. I would say those 3 Les Mis episodes. Like we put so much time into that. We read that whole fucking book.
I don't know if you know this, of the 58 days of time, I'm sure 12 of it was just Les Mis.
Yeah. And the number of pages, some significant percentage.
It's insane.
And it was really fun to do. I don't think any part of that was like not fun.
No.
It was super fun the whole time. And I feel kind of the same way about Hamlet.
Yeah.
Hamlet was really fun to do. But also like if you wanted, I feel like we got very involved in terms of just like literary criticism, and it was sort of in my wheelhouse as far as like stuff that opinions that I wanted to get out into the world. And like if you wanted me on a plate, I think go to the Hamlet episode. As far as an episode that has every type of media in it that we enjoy, A Little Princess.
Oh, sure.
It
Yeah,
had
yeah.
a silent film.
Mhm.
It had an anime.
Mhm.
It had like old Hollywood. It had a Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
It had like a classic 90s nostalgia movie from our childhoods.
Yep.
And it had like an 80s miniseries that was actually really good.
Yeah.
Like those are the things that we like, all of them. And that one had, I'm sure there were others that had all of those things.
Yeah.
But like that was a really fun episode because of the variety of types of media that it had. And then I picked a favorite that I was not in. And that would be Around the World in 80 Days.
Oh, yeah.
That was I just thought that was such a fun episode.
Yeah.
And the two of you clearly had fun doing it. And I liked how indignant you got about, what was it? Was it David Tennant? The last one?
Oh, yeah. We weren't expecting to dislike it as much as we did.
No, that was really fun to listen to. I really enjoyed that one. So that was my favorite that I was not in.
Yeah. If it was good, we wouldn't have said so much stuff about it.
That's right. Well, it's always more fun to talk about things you don't like.
Yeah. Also, traveling around the world in a balloon is a dumb way to do it.
Yeah. And in the book, apparently they didn't.
They didn't. Jules Verne
right.
thought that it was a bad way to do it.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Anyway. Alex, what's your favorite episode?
So much like Ari, I had like a list of answers that kind of satisfy different criteria of favorite. There's 3 that are like to me in my journey of listening to Adapter Parish are like significant, which are Fun Home, because that's the episode that led me to the show in the first place, and getting to have the realization of, oh, we saw the same production of Fun Home, so I am hearing you actually talk about the same production that I saw, was very fun. The Treasure Island episode, because I have such a strong memory of waking up at like 3 a.m. because I dealt with a lot of insomnia in college, plugging my headphones in and being like, oh, the podcast episode is out. Now I want to wake up my roommate, so I'm going to listen. And then here you go. So there's this listener named Alex, and I hate them because they made us watch this bad movie, and having to keep my voice off and like not jump all over the room in excitement because my roommate was sleeping.
Forgot about that.
It's pretty great.
And then obviously the Legacy of Seven Samurai episode, because that was the one where I got to like really be a part of it.
You still text me. I just so everyone knows, like Alex still texts me like on a weekly basis to thank me for bringing Rebel Moon parts 1 and 2 to their life.
Yeah, a real game changer for you, right?
It really is. It really is.
It was a game changer. The Letterboxd review that I left for it was, I found a movie that's almost as unbearable for me to watch as She's the Man. So that was a new record setter. Something to match my least favorite movie of all time.
You're welcome.
Well, you gotta keep pushing the, you need to set those records. You gotta keep
keep
pushing the
setting that bar.
envelope. Yeah.
Regarding the Treasure Island episode, I feel like the other legacy for me of that episode is that the like 50s Disney Treasure Island has now made it into my roster of comfort movies.
Yeah.
Like I will just put that on, and it is hard to get into that lineup for me. Like that is that's a high bar to clear. And that is definitely now a like, I'm just gonna put it on if I'm tired or sick or whatever. So
before I keep going, and feel free to cut this out, Jeremy, I just noticed that Ian is wearing a shirt for another podcast.
Yes.
It's a blank check shirt, right?
Yeah,
I do it all the
Ian,
time.
Ian, I feel like half of Ian's wardrobe is blank check merch.
You notice it was a blank check t-shirt from the top of it? Cool.
I've listened to enough episodes that I recognize the logo.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I do have a lot of blank check merch. It's my favorite podcast and
Second favorite.
second favorite.
And
Damn.
and also every time
Jesus
I mention or like bring up or mention anything from blank check on on an episode, Jeremy edits it out because I think he doesn't like when I talk about other podcasts on the show. And this is the first time that I'm ever saying this to him, and then I know that he does that.
Do you know what the best part is about this part of the conversation? It's not going to make it to the episode.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. No, every time I make a point of it after all this time where it's like I mentioned something. I was like, oh, so I was listening to this episode of Blank Check or something like that. And every time I get the episode in my feed that he sends me to listen to, and I'm like, it's not going to be in there. It's not going to be in there. And it's not in there.
Okay.
Also, I like
so
that Jeremy
weird.
and I were basically having a side conversation, and we turned back, and Ian was still talking about blank check.
Yep. I would love for you to continue with with your answer to the question.
Sorry.
Aside from episodes that I have a personal like connection to, my two favorites are 10 Commandments and the Poseidon Adventure. 10 Commandments,
Amazing.
I mean, I love Prince of Egypt, so it was very lovely to hear you talk about that. I think it was very silly having to hear you like try to analyze like biblical text as a story. And I think there was a nice range of like really good films, like the Prince of Egypt, to like the shitty like super Christian animated ones that like you had to watch at the end, and your qualms over 10 Commandments, which I still have not seen, but like forever Charlton Heston, enemy of the pod, so that's always going to live in my head whenever I get around to watching it. And then Poseidon Adventure, I just remember really having a fun time listening to it. I think it was one of the only episodes where there's plenty of episodes where I hadn't seen or read anything that was in the episode, but I usually at least recognized the name. I'd heard of the book or the movie or something. I had never heard of the Poseidon Adventure when you guys released the episode. And so I had a lot of fun just going in with like absolutely no preconceived notions or background knowledge.
That's one of my favorites. Just because for Ian and Alex, because you know this, Ari, already, but like I feel like there are a lot of episodes that you did with me that you didn't like you did because we decided we were going to do it.
Yeah.
But I feel like this was one of the few where you were like, we are doing this.
Oh, yeah.
And I am excited
The
about
Poseidon
it.
Adventure is a Lipshaw family favorite.
Yeah.
Like, that we had that on VHS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that episode. It's so much fun. I'm glad that translated. 10 Commandments episode 1 was pretty good.
Yeah.
Tell you-
And led to our best pan review ever.
Oh, yes, our 1-star review.
Our 1-star review.
That we sounded like
Frat boys.
Frat boys.
And we were not sufficiently literary.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
Truly amazing.
Our biblical criticism was not up to par.
Yep.
Scholarship, our biblical scholarship.
Ian, I was going to go to you next, but I'm going to go next really quickly because
Okay.
for my very favorite episode of all time, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It's the 10 Commandments. I
just want to preview. This is not the last time the Ten Commandments is going to come up because it's on my list.
Yeah. Oh,
for
yeah.
something.
Yeah, like the 10 Commandments, I just feel like there is no other episode that just me personally I have been able to bring as much of myself to. like it's the episode that I would tell anyone, like, if you want to get to know me as a person, listen to the 10 Commandments.
That's how I feel about Hamlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I love that episode so much. Alex, it makes me so happy that you mentioned it because it is my favorite. It is absolutely my favorite. And it is the episode I am proudest of. And it's great. Ian, what's your favorite episode of Adapter Parish?
Well, I should have thought better than to do that, but I actually did just pick one. So in terms of some runner-ups, I'm kind of winging it, but
I only picked
that's
one.
fine. No. But I'm just gonna, real quick, I'm gonna say it's incredibly obvious and boring of me, but like Jaws.
Yeah.
Jaws is probably my favorite. Like, much like I say de facto that Jaws is my favorite movie, I'll say that it's my favorite episode of this podcast.
Uh-huh. I mean, the only reason it's your favorite is because it's a really good episode.
It's a really good episode.
Yeah, it's a fantastic episode. You know, it was difficult for me to pick something other than it for the second question you're going to ask too, but I did. But just in terms of other ones, I really love any of the long explorations with lots of adaptations of either very established pop culture like things, or especially more like supernatural sci-fi and horror stuff.
Mhm.
So like the Robin Hood 2-parter is a big one for me. I loved that one.
That was really fun.
And Dracula and Frankenstein, you know, naturally.
I think Dracula and Frankenstein are two of our best episodes.
Yeah,
Again.
those are
Those are
huge
like
for me.
It's going to come up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of ones that I was involved in, and also they kind of work in the same way as me saying like ones that maybe were involved some kind of revelation to me in terms of something that is introduced to me that I now love. The second episode I ever did, which was the Henry Sugar short episode, the short episode, like that was like a big deal to me. Like that I have felt feelings in a way that I like was not expecting with that one.
Because of Henry Sugar or because of the Swan?
Because of the Swan. Sorry.
Yeah.
But then like in terms of what Ari was talking about, where something that from this show is like folded into your comfort viewing thing, then like it's gotta be The Shop Around the Corner.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. So like that was like one that I was involved in that introduced me to an older movie that I was just like, what? This is incredible.
I've already I folded Shop Around the Corner into our Christmas watches.
Yeah, we didn't watch the whole thing. You just had me watch a little bit.
We watched most of
Did
it.
we watch most of it?
Remember then your dad came over and we finished it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bazillion others, obviously, but those are some big ones. But yeah, I mean, Jaws is my favorite.
Well, so the next question that I have, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to go next because the next question I wanted to ask you all is, what episode would you recommend as a starting point for a new listener? And for me, the answer I have had for years and the thing I have told people is go to episode 20, Jaws, because it is, I mean, sweetie, I think we've talked, but I'm talking to Ian, by the way.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. This is that was in my wedding speech that he was the true love of your life.
That's our first good episode. Like,
yeah, no, it is.
Yeah, like I'm proud of what we did before that, but that was the first episode where I feel like we're really like locked in.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is the only reason I wouldn't tell someone to go to Jaws is because it's an atypical episode and it's not really what we ended up doing. Like, it's not really what the podcast became.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very funny 90 minutes of the two of us talking about Jaws. But I don't know that it's a typical Adapter Parish episode.
No.
So,
well, then here's the deal. I would like to turn that question around to all of you. And sweetie, I'll start with you.
All right, hang on. Let me.
I was talking to Ian.
I know. Oh God.
Sweetie, what's your favorite? Which episode would you tell someone to start with?
All right. Well, I have a few based on what you're into. What's up?
Don't worry. I was still
I
looking
think he
at
was
Ian.
really trying to get me to go first.
Were you just staring deeply into his eyes?
Yes.
All right. I have a couple.
Okay.
Again, kind of based on what you're into or what your what type of entry point would be the best for you as a human. So classic episodes, classic Adapter Parish. If someone said, what's a typical Adapter Parish episode? I would point them to any Jane Austen, any Bronte, Wuthering Heights, Jane Eyre, or like Little Women. Little Women was really good.
Yep.
And like, I would say listen to the follow-up.
Yes.
Because Little Women, I think, was like episode 4 or something.
Right. Well, unlike Pride and Prejudice, we didn't go back and add an intro saying, hey, don't listen to this.
Yeah.
Like,
we just redid it. We basically just redid it.
But like Little Women, I felt like we did say like, no, listen to the first one.
Yeah. Similar to what Ian was just talking about, I would say if you're looking for sort of a deep character study, the two I wrote down were Dracula and Robin Hood. Both of those were really fun to do. And I think it was more about the character than the plot. And then I wrote funny, 10 Commandments.
Yep.
And Valley of the Dolls.
Oh, yeah.
That was really fun. The Valley of the Dolls was super, super fun and so trashy and really fun to do. And like maybe I would add Flowers in the Attic to that.
Oh, yeah.
Just because anything that's trashy or bad is the most fun.
I remember being really indignant
funny.
that you made me do Flowers in the Attic.
Yeah. And then like, what was the one that had like my famous line about they're all smooth?
In Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That might fall into that category.
Yeah.
That's a big. I love that episode. That's a big one for me too.
Yeah.
No,
So,
when you say, and he's all smooth, like that's still something I say in my personal life.
and you still say, speak when you're spoken to from the Little Princess episode. You say it to our kid.
I do. Speak what's talking to. Sweet. I don't know if you knew this, but you're very good on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So those are all great ones to start with. Ian, what would you recommend that people start with?
Well, as I mentioned before, I was specifically trying to pick one for this that is not Jaws, because obviously, like, that would be a go-to answer for me as well. What I settled on was Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh, heck yeah.
I just remember so many delightful and relatable, funny things from that episode. Like Ari doing Mustache Man impressions. And
I mean, doing that episode was life-changing for you.
Murder on the Orient Express?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I am of an age.
Right.
Where I know what I...
that's what I'm thinking.
Where I know what I like and what I do not like. What I like, I enjoy enormously. What I do not like...
I cannot abide.
Like, I feel like...
I wept.
You wept when you heard that. Because you're like, that's speaking to my soul.
And then say it at least weekly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that and what you just described is what I think about with that episode too. And that was like a very formative bit. I feel like that really and that spoke to me. So, and it's a fun episode because it's a classic literature thing, but it's also like you got to do there's a very modern adaptation to talk about, and all that stuff. So it's I feel like that's a really well-rounded episode.
That's a good episode. Alex, what would you recommend that people start with?
So I also wrote down Jaws. I think because you mentioned it as like a starter episode before, I have it in my brain. So when you sent me the question, I was like, well, that's like the first thing that comes into my brain because it's been seeded like that. But I also tried to come up with a second answer, and I said The Godfather.
Yeah.
I think because that episode, and this, when I say this is not meant to be an insult against the show, it's meant to be, this is how my brain works bad.
Don't worry, I'll take it both ways.
Very rarely do I listen to episodes and go, I need to like read this or watch this right now, because my brain like automatically has a kind of a wall against things being recommended to me. It's just like, well, now there's expectations and now like I have to follow through, and if I don't feel the same way they do, then it's just gonna be disappointing for all of us.
It's called pathological demand avoidance, and 2 out of the 3 of us in this house have it. Not Jeremy.
I know all about that.
But I think The Godfather was an episode where at the end of it, I was like, maybe at that point, I think I had seen the movie. Either I saw the movie then or I saw it shortly afterwards. But I think that it was one of the few episodes where I was like, I'm curious about the book, and I'm curious about the movie, and I'm curious about the video game.
Mhm.
And like that didn't happen to me with every episode, so that's why it like sticks to me. And I think that means it's got to be pretty good if at the end of it I was like, I'm actually interested in these things.
The Godfather was a very seminal episode in terms of the format of our podcast, and I don't know if everybody here knows this,
Mhm.
but I very specifically remember us going, "Oh, we don't need to do a plot summary of The Godfather. Everybody knows what The Godfather's
Yes.
about." And then our dear friend and Ian's dear friend Afton went, "Actually, I've never seen The Godfather, so I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about." And we were like, "Shit, I guess we better do a plot summary in every episode going forward." And that's like one of my biggest regrets, that I never got to do a plot summary of The Godfather.
Yeah,
because it would
yeah.
have been so fucking funny.
It would have been a funny one to do. Yeah.
We were
That's
still
great.
figuring it out.
We were still figuring it
I
out.
think that, funnily enough, I think that Jaws is the episode where like I feel like that affected me a lot, because I'm pretty sure you guys went into Jaws being like, everybody knows Jaws.
Yeah.
And I watched Jaws for the first time this July 4th. So
Mhm.
when I listened to it in like 2020, I had not seen Jaws before, and I was just like, they're still talking about the shark, and I know the shark. But I genuinely did not know what the plot of the movie was until I watched it. I was like, there's a shark and they're trying to kill it, and I didn't know anything else.
That's so funny. It's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Do
Do people know? Do people know about that?
People know. And then final question. I'll go back around. Alex, I'll start with you for this one.
Okay.
If the show ever comes back, what episode or episodes, as I'm sure everyone here has more than one answer, if the show ever comes back, what episode would be your top priority?
Okay. So I have 3 answers for this one, which again are in like specific
Mm-hmm.
categories. The first one is for a general audience. So this is like an episode that I think, based on what you guys have done historically on Adapter Parish, the current audience would enjoy listening to, and I also would really like to see, which is Legally Blonde.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because like the musical, there's a filmed version that's readily available. I was always really hoping that you would get around to it. But like, it's got a book, it's got a movie, it's got a musical that is readily available. So I think that it would be a pretty solid episode.
That's Oh My God, you guys, right?
Yes.
Yes,
I'm a big
Jeremy.
fan of the musical.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
We could also watch the MTV limited run series Legally Blonde: The Search for Elle Woods.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My second one is the incredibly selfish pick, which 3 for 3. I bet you know what I'm gonna say, Jeremy. It's
Probably.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah. No, I know. So
'cause I wasn't gonna go my final Adapter Parish episode without mentioning it again.
yeah, I mean, here's the thing that I'm sad
Gotta do
about.
it.
So I'll let everybody who's listening know I had a plan to keep doing the show until we hit 10 years, and the plan was to go until next October. But life kind of got in the way, and I have a like loose calendar set up for episodes I want to do. And Alex, just so you know, Full Metal Alchemist was on there.
It
And
hurts more knowing you're saying that. and
Yeah,
not
I know.
talking
I don't know
about
why
I
you-
know.
You're. Why did you say something?
no,
it. It's so
what I'm
cruel.
what I'm saying is I'm a mean person.
Well, if you ever want to sit down and watch it in your own time and then text me about it.
Well, now I
have my
have
number.
to.
Yeah.
Now I have to.
Yeah, you do.
But anyway, what was your third?
And then my third one is one I was realistically hoping to get Jeremy to do, which is I pitched it in my intro episode. I pitched it when I texted you right before you told me that the show was ending, and I'm pitching it again now.
Yep, go for
which
it.
is The Rose of Versailles.
Yes.
Because my thought process was always, if I'm going to get Jeremy and Ari, Ian, whoever was the other host at the time, to do a show, to do an episode where the anime is a primary part of it, and it's not just like we're mostly looking at like American and Western European adaptations, and then also Japan did a thing. The Rose of Versailles would be a good pick because it's a take on the French Revolution, so it like exists in a time period that would be like familiar to you in your like literary background and stuff, while still like being a manga first and then an anime. And then there was a live action film by Jacques Demy, which I've never seen any of his films, but I know he's a famous director, so I was like, that's a fun thing. And then there was another anime film at the beginning of this year. So that's the one I was always like, this would make a good episode. but is less in your wheelhouse than something like Legally Blonde.
Mhm.
And then I think a fourth asterisk pick that I have is 12th Night, because it's one of my favorite Shakespeare shows, and I was always kind of hoping you guys would get around to a comedy, but also that means you would talk about She's the Man, which is my least favorite movie of all
Right.
time. So that movie personally victimized me as a 16-year-old. So
One of Jeremy and my first dates was when you came to see my production of 12th Night.
Yeah, you were directing
I
it when we
directed
first
it.
started dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hell yeah. I played Sebastian, and I live with the person I played Viola with.
That's so adorable. I can't even deal with that.
I love this. Ian.
Oh boy, this is going to be just a bunch of me crap that no one else would want to do a podcast with me. But like, basically it's like, first and foremost, a lot of Stephen King stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
But so I guess if I had to and this is another one that hurts because these were on the books,
Yes.
but basically The Stand, and which was one I would love to do, and then the one I was most excited about, which was, Jeremy has them on the books as like an episode about The Shining and then a mini episode about Dr. Sleep, but I would want like giant episodes for everything involved, so like 2 giant episodes on The Shining and Dr. Sleep.
I feel bad that we're not doing it. I still want to see it now. I want to see Dr. Sleep.
We tried to do The
You should.
Shining, and I read like the first chapter, and I was like, I can't do it.
Well, I think,
Yeah.
I thought this was one of the few times that I came out to you after reading a bit and just being like, do you not want to do this? Because I'm reading it and I don't think you want to do this.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I remember me saying I can't do it.
Yeah.
There were 2 like that. One was The Shining, and one was Dr. No, that both of us went to each other, and we were
Oh,
like, this
yeah.
is so
That was
racist that we
definitely-
can't
yeah,
handle
Dr.
it.
No,
Like, it's
I
awful.
remember
Like,
that.
we can't even make fun of it. It's so bad.
No, and that's what I mean is that, like, this is obviously like Jeremy would do these with me, but I just, and there's a bunch of other stuff, obviously. I think we had it on the books too.
Gone with the Wind. That was the other one.
Gone with
There were
I came-
Dr. No and Gone with the Wind were the 2 that we couldn't do because they were so racist that we couldn't even be funny about it.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
We were
Wow.
gonna do Gone with the Wind,
Yeah.
and then I came to you
came
and said,
to me
I
and
can't
you
do
said
it.
you can't do it, and
Yeah.
I was disappointed because I thought it would have been fun,
Mhm.
but I get it, and we felt the same way about Dr. No.
Yeah.
But that's my just like a bunch of Stephen King stuff, and then we get into the territory of things that would never happen because the only 2 options of them happening would be if this was a completely different podcast,
Yeah.
or if you were just giving if you just gave me like a whole bonus, like maybe mini episode, maybe full episode to just like talk at length about like one thing myself, and that would be like doing The Expanse.
Yes.
Like my favorite sci-fi series of all time, and
Ironically,
'cause-
if we did The Expanse, it would be a very short episode.
yes, ironically, it would just be Jeremy being like, Ian, you have half an hour to just talk about it to everybody and then never talk about it again. But no, like I would never ask Jeremy to read 9 novels and 9 novellas.
Someone's laughing at you. You can't see them right now, but they're laughing at you.
I feel it. It's okay.
Yeah. Do you know about The Expanse?
I mean, from Ian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ari.
Uncharacteristically, I really only have one.
Okay.
Which you already kind of alluded to. I'm bummed that we never got to Northanger Abbey.
Yeah.
I'm still unclear if it's a soft G or a hard G.
Northanger.
Northanger.
Yeah.
Northanger, like anger.
Right.
Yes. Northanger Abbey.
Yeah.
Because it's the one Jane Austen that we had left to do to complete the entire Jane Austen canon.
Like, would you count Love and Friendship?
No, I guess maybe
I feel like we'd have to do it as a mini episode.
Yeah. I'm bummed we didn't finish Jane Austen, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, me too.
And I guess so like that kind of, I guess, goes without saying. And then the other thing that when Ian was saying I wanted to do this but it would be a different podcast, I remembered sort of my pitch for the thing that I want to do but it would be a different podcast, which is Lord of the Rings.
Right.
But what I would want to do is every chapter of the book, do 1 episode per chapter of the book and talk about whatever scene or scenes in the movie is that chapter of the book. So you'd be jumping around in the movies quite a bit,
Right.
but going through the 3 books chapter by chapter.
Right.
And that's
Oh, wow.
I really want to do that.
That is
Ari,
a podcast all unto
That is
itself.
and one that would Ari, I don't know if that your idea of that has ever be either by you or Jeremy. I'm not sure it's ever been communicated to me. If it has, I've forgotten and I'm sorry. But that is an amazing idea.
That's
That
my
absolutely
dream.
should be a podcast.
Maybe that's mine and Ian's podcast.
I would do that one.
Yeah.
You guys, this is great because this is just such an amazing idea for a podcast. It's fantastic. We go through all the Lord of the Rings chapter by chapter. And then when we're done with that, we go through
do the
all 9
Expanse
books
chapter
of
by
The Expanse chapter by chapter.
And we go through all 27 volumes of Full Metal Alchemist.
Exactly. See, I wasn't going to even mention The Expanse earlier in this episode, but then I was like, Alex gets to talk about the Full Metal Alchemist. I'm doing The Expanse.
All right. I'll go ahead and take us out here with my top priorities if the show ever comes back. There's one episode we never did, and I'm sad because my co-host for years wanted to do it, and I always said no, because even though we love it, there's a new movie that's going to come out, and I don't want to do the episode if the new movie isn't out. And this is, of course, Fiddler on the Roof.
Said over and over
That's
again.
something that I also would have loved an episode of.
That movie never came out. It was 8 years.
Yep.
8 years that movie never came
Still
out.
hasn't come out. And here's the deal. At this point, if my plan to finish the show next year even happened, still wouldn't cover
Still
it.
wouldn't have come out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if that movie ever comes out, like I would sit down to do an episode because I could talk about Fiddler on the Roof for hours.
No, I know.
And I'm very it would be a priority.
Still mad about it.
I know. I'm very sorry.
Jeremy, I know that I feel like you mentioned you were in a production of Fiddler, right?
We
Yes.
both were.
Mentioned it
Both
once.
were.
Ian and I were. I was Tevye and Ian was Laser Wolf.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask because I was at a production when I was in 3rd or 4th grade. I was gonna ask if Ari had ever been in it.
I was in it twice. The first time I was a random mama, and the second time I was Mottle's mother. Oh God, the character had a name,
She has
which
a
I have.
name.
Shandel.
So when I was in it, I was Muddle. I did youth musical theater from like 3rd grade to 5th grade, and I got cast as a woman once, and it was like a tiny background part where I was also cast as a different male character, and maybe that's why I'm trans.
It's your root.
In my production, because they had to cut it down to be like 60 minutes, they took out Miracle of Miracles, and I was jaded about it then, and I'm still jaded about it now.
Oh my God.
I spent my entire childhood being implicitly told I was a bad singer and not realizing it until middle school. So I'm not surprised that they cut out my song because I tended not to get cast in parts that sang a lot. But it's one of my favorite songs from the show, so I was a little bothered.
No, Fiddler on the Roof. I just wanted to mention there were classics that we never did that I want to do. Like, here's the thing. I'll tell everyone a secret. Ian and I have been reading The Count of Monte Cristo since the beginning of the year, fully intending to go through and do that because there's so many of it.
Reading
that's
is a
rough.
strong term.
There's an anime of that one too.
I know.
There's a French one. We had to watch it in AP French class. I think Gerard Depardieu's in it.
I mean, Gerard Depardieu. Of course,
Of
there's
course
a
he
Gerard
is.
Depardieu one, yeah. But like, it bums me out that we never got to do it because that is exactly the kind of thing we should do.
Yeah.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. There's so many. The Phantom of the Opera. There's so many.
Phantom of the Opera would be fun.
And then the only other things that I had on my list were Jane Austen
Yeah, there you
because we
go.
never got to finish it. But anyway,
Yeah,
this has been.
it's super fun.
I wasn't sure. Like I'm getting a little emotional right now about the fact that the four of us are actually all on a call right now. Just because you all mean a lot to me and the show means a lot to me, and getting to share something with two people who I've known for a really, really long time, and also a cool person that I've gotten to know because of the show. This has just been really special, and I just really appreciate all of you. And thank you for joining me on this great journey across the... All right, that's all I got.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. End of
Yay.
show.
Well, thank you. I would like to say just thank you, Ian, for picking up the slack, picking up where I left off. I've known
No
Ian for many years. Jeremy's best friend.
About as long as you've known
He was
Jeremy.
at our wedding. Best man at our wedding. Like, very important person in our lives. Uncle Ian to our child.
Yep.
So no better person to pick this up. Alex, don't know you too well, but you are great. Love your Gen Z perspective. I think very important perspective to have on this very millennial show.
I mean, if we're being sappy for a second, I said this in like a joking way, I think, in the Seven Samurai episode, but like genuinely Adapter Parish like got me through my freshman year of college because I was stuck in my dorm by myself for 9 months, and I was literally like being discouraged from interacting with other people. And once winter hit, like I barely left my room. And so getting to hear fun human voices have fun conversations about like shows and books and stuff like was actually like really, really important to like getting me through those months until I was allowed to like interact with other humans again. So I really, this show does mean a lot to me.
Alex, I am sorry that you never got to be on the show when Ari was also still on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you all who are currently here. Thank you all who are listening. Thank you all who have listened. And it has been, I said this in the last episode, the last like proper episode, but like this has been an absolute pleasure, and everyone involved and everyone who listens means a lot to me. Thank you all so much.